Alright folks, just getting set up here. Now I will get this shared to a few pages. Hope everyone's having a good night so far. Share to the Harrisville Haunted House. And let's see. We'll share it to Chiller Chat. And let's see, where else can we share? I suppose we'll share this to Jack Shadows. And to the Chiller Night Facebook group page. Now that's a private group page. If you're not a member, request to become a member and we'll let you in, by golly. Okay, looks like we're all set there. We got a few minutes. We got about 2.5 minutes before we begin. So we're doing all right. Okay, getting everything set up. Okay, looking pretty good. We got Lasercorn on here. Hey peeps, reporting live tonight from Otto's Pub and Brewery in State College tonight. All right, well have fun. That sounds like a good time. Let's see here. Get out of the way there. Got a couple minutes left. Roger says, good evening, everyone. Hey, Roger. Thanks for joining us. All right, almost time. Almost time. About a minute and a half to go. All right. Almost time, folks. Okay. Doc Dread says, evening, Brian. Snazzy shirt. You like that? The Flash. Well, I'm hoping that you're feeling better. I saw your post the other night, so I'm hoping that you're doing a lot better. That's no fun having that, is it? No fun at all. Hey, it is 7:59. We're getting closer. Cassandra says, hi, everybody. Hey, Cassandra, thanks for joining us. And it is 8 o'clock. Time to begin. everybody, this is Brian Hogue. Welcome to the Chiller Night Live pre-show, where from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until 9, we'll sit here and chat about all things horror, science fiction, paranormal, and of course, we'll be talking about the upcoming Chiller Night programming that will be on Stream TV from 9 p.m. off and on until the wee hours of the morning, probably around 3:30. So, we'll put up that schedule here pretty quick. But let me see what these chats are saying. Bill says, I like the Flash shirt. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Diana says, hello, everyone. Hey, Diana, on YouTube. John says, oh, Doc says, so much better at home. It kicked my butt. Oh, he's talking about the bug got him. So I'm glad to see you're doing well from what I saw on Facebook. Doing better, anyways, I should say. John says, greeting, it's time again for Chillin' Night Pre-Show with our host of hosts, Brian Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand, and I endorse this show. Well, thank you, Crozak the Grand, very much for endorsing the Chillin' Night Live Pre-Show for tonight. Tonight, Saturday, September 18th. What's on tonight? Well, let me show you. Beginning at 9 p.m. on, now if you're new, and you don't know how to watch this, let me tell you. You go to streammedia.tv, go to their website, and at the top you'll see Watch Live, the live programming, streaming. And at 9 o'clock, or actually there's like a 2-minute delay. I think it's at 9:02 technically. So at about 9:02-ish, this is what you're going to see for tonight. At 9 o'clock, Jack Shadow features The Crawling Eye. You may know that movie also as The Trollenberg Terror. At 11 p.m., Chiller Chat. My guest is George Garanci. Now, that's the one that we had, the live show we had several months ago, where George was talking about his program, The Ghoul World Order. And that's a Pittsburgh-based web series, I guess you could say. 11:30. Well, tune in at 11. You're going to find out. 11:30 p.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Snow Beast, and that was the new movie, the new episode that came out last week. That was our feature 9 o'clock episode. 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is Donald F. Glute. And at 2 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Carnival of Souls. Now, Donald F. Glute, by the way, a very, very well-known writer, and he's done just so much in the for television, Saturday morning. A lot of your Saturday morning shows growing up, like in the 70s and 80s, there was a lot of stuff that was written by Donald F. Glute. So, and he's a huge horror fan. He was on here talking about his independent movie, Tales of Frankenstein. So, pretty interesting episode. Hope you get a chance to watch it. John says, Thursday or Friday was Cassandra Peterson's birthday, so let's go over her happy birthday. Yes, I actually have that as one of my notes. The queen of horror hosts, Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, of course, had her, what was it, her 70th? I think she's 70. And that was, I believe that was just yesterday. And to our favorite female host, Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark. Yes, so that was, I think that was yesterday. I think she's 70, so still going at it. So still going around and making appearances and all kinds of stuff. So it's really cool. Have any of you guys ever met? Oh, well, I know, I believe David and Diana, because I know she did a little a plug there for the Nocturnal web series that you guys do. So that was pretty cool. I don't know. How's everybody doing tonight? Looking forward to the TV programming on tonight. I hope you are. Saturday night. The reason I'm even doing this is because every Saturday night when I was growing up was the Chiller Night. And when I grew up, the horror host, the local horror host, somewhat local, within 100 miles or so, was Bill Chilly Billy Cardell from Pittsburgh. And every Saturday night, it was just 11:30 at night on WPXI. Before then, I mean, the really old school viewers, it was WIIC. Later it became WPXI. But Bill Cardell, he had Chiller Theater, and it had gone very strong for at least 20 years. What, from 63 or 64 until 84, until the New Year's Eve, I think 83 into 84 was the very last episode. And there was a promo going on at one time where you could actually get the script to the last episode. And I actually have a copy of that. I think it's in one of my drawers here, but it's pretty cool. I did have the privilege of knowing Bill Cardell for about the last 2 years before he passed away. So, great guy. Bonehead says, hey, hello, Chiller Night crew and Brian. Hey, Bonehead, thanks for joining us. Cassandra says, David said she, Elvira, was one of the most amazing personalities. Very sweet. Yeah, she seems very, very, very cool, like a very fun person to be talking to. Be awesome to be able to get her on Chiller Chat one of these nights. So, speaking of Chiller Chat, I will have a Tuesday night Chiller Chat. We had a new one Tuesday night. Boy, they go quick, don't they? I still want a little bit more feedback on Chiller Chats. Like, do you want a longer program? What I'm gonna do is I'll keep what Stream TV plays down to 30 minutes. I'll keep that all condensed into a 30-minute episode. But if I don't know, some have expressed that they would like it to be a longer show, I could do that and just cut out the maybe a beginning part of that, maybe even an end, kind of bookend it, and just put the middle section, like the guest. If I have a guest on, we put that on as the episode. You guys let me know, and I will try my darndest to accommodate that. So, all right. So, Bonehead says, has anyone heard from Miss Glamfangs or Tom Paisley? I have not. Not since, what, last week, right? Was it last week? But no, I haven't heard from them. I haven't heard from them yet tonight. We're 8 minutes in, so I don't know. Well, I hope to see them. I hope they appear and chat with us. Now, I don't know where all of you are from, but I'll lighten this up a little bit and try to as I'm sitting here talking to you. Did you guys have a favorite horror host growing up? Like I said, I just shared that mine growing up was Bill Chilly Billy Cardell, and I'm going to brighten this just a touch. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. I think that'll work. That's a little brighter. All right. I know that, whether you're from the Cleveland area, the Pittsburgh area, or wherever you were from, who was your favorite, most inspirational horror host as you were growing up? We were talking about horror hosts as, Elvira. I mentioned Chilly Billy. Any other prominent names that I know there's a ton of them, but anyone stand out in your childhood? What was your most influential horror shows growing up? Did you love the horror, the Universal monster movies, perhaps the Hammer horror? Send it to me, folks. I want to hear from you. Michelle gives me a wave from the grave. And Michelle, thanks for joining us. Terrence says, just watch Malignant. What a crazy, wild movie. Oh, yeah? I have not seen that. I've not seen that. Terrence says it's a crazy, wild movie. Okay, that's cool. Bonehead says, Chilly Billy, Ned the Dead, MST3K, and Jack Shadow. All right, thank you. MST3K, isn't that coming back, the Mystery Science Theater? Terrence says, I watched Svengoolie growing up. Oh, yeah, okay. I know that there was a Svengoolie, and then the Svengoolie that we know now was, for a while, he was a son of Svengoolie, and then later changed the name to Svengoolie. One of the biggest honors that I had when I was talking to Chilly Billy about doing my show, Chiller Night Theater, was I was going over the title with him. Because my show before, when I first started this back in 2008, was called Sleepy Hollow Theater. I wanted to change that. I wasn't real, I'll be honest, I wasn't real crazy about that name. Because I thought, well, you don't know what it is just to hear the title. I kind of just wanted it to be an old-fashioned, an old horror host sounding show. So I thought, it'd be kind of neat to take. I don't want to use Chiller Theater because that was used, and plus somebody at this time has that the rights to that title, other than Pittsburgh, and so I thought I want to have it as close as I can. So I combined Chiller Theater with Fright Night. Remember that movie Fright Night? And that I just came up Chiller Night. I went to the man himself. I asked Chilly Billy, would you be okay? I mean, me using a name that's so similar, but as a homage to Chiller Theater. I love Chiller Theater. And he said, Brian, you could have called it Son of Chiller. And when he said that, that was a huge wow, such a big compliment. But I'm going back to Svengoolie. Yeah, he was son of Svengoolie. Now he's Svengoolie. It's not easy to say that many times in a row. All right, so Bonehead says, "Oh yeah, Terrence, I forgot about Svengoolie." There it goes again. Bonehead says, "Thanks for reminding me, Terrence." Bonehead says, "Haven't heard from you in a while, Miss Glam. I missed you." Oh, she's here. Okay, I missed as I was just rambling on. Okay. Joe Expo says, it all starts with Frankenstein versus the Wolfman for me. Oh, okay. That is that was a pretty good, that had one of the best opening scenes, with the grave robbers going into the cemetery and going to loot Larry Talbot's, grave and his tomb. And it just just that atmosphere was so cool. And then, of course, he reaches up and grabs the guy's hand when the full moon hits him. It was really cool. It was a good movie. Bela Lugosi, of course, played the monster, the Frankenstein's monster in that movie. And he was actually just a little bit taller than Boris Karloff. It doesn't seem that way, but yeah, he actually was. He was just a little bit taller than Boris, so that's kind of interesting. So I always picture Boris as being so tall. Another neat one, it was the Glenn Strange. He had the creepiest look. I think Boris, of course, was the best monster, but Glenn Strange had the creepiest look. I will say that. I gotta give him credit for that. So, let's see. Oh, Glam. All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for asking about me, Bonehead. It's appreciated. Not to mention, I need constant supervision. Yes, well, we'll keep you under wraps here. Glam says, not sure if he qualifies, but always got a kick out of Count Floyd from SCTV LOL. Okay, yeah, why not? Throw him in there. David says, good evening. Champagne popped and poured. Cheers. Chilly Billy is my favorite, and I also enjoyed watching Screamin', hosted by a character named Tarantula in 1971. I remember you mentioning that, and I'll admit I don't remember that one. But that was a Pittsburgh-based or produced show, was it not? I think I remember you saying that in the past. John says, mine was the Ghoul when he was on WKGB in Boston, Massachusetts in the mid-70s. The Creature double feature, both on Channel 56. Very cool, the Ghoul. Bonehead says, I can't remember Frankenstein versus the Wolfman. That'd be a good movie to watch. Oh, check it out. Check it out. Or Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, or a lot of people refer to it as Frankenstein versus the Wolfman. But it is it's a fun movie. If you've not checked that out, check it out. Terrence says the first horror film I ever saw as a child was the Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I had trouble sleeping after that. I also loved the Scream movies growing up. Oh, okay. Joe Expo says American International and the Edgar Allan Poe series. Okay. Glamfang says Chili Billy and Jack Shadow for sure. Oh, thank you. Ned the Dead and Doc Maru were great. Also enjoy Bobby Gamonster on YouTube. I hope I'm saying that right. I know you're talking about him. I hope I'm saying the name right. Jason says, greetings to all. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining us. Bonehead says, thanks, Glam. I forgot about Bobby and Boris the Buzzard. Bonehead says, I've been watching Eulogy Mortem lately, too. Now, I'll admit, I might see in passing and scrolling, you know, I know of other horror hosts, but I keep so busy trying to keep up with things. I don't really get a chance to see any other ones regularly. I've seen, you know, of course, I've seen Svengoolie, Chili Billy, of course. In fact, growing up, I didn't know there were other horror hosts. I thought that was the one, you know, for the longest time as a kid. I just figured everybody watched Chili Billy, you know. And maybe it was like that when you were growing up. When you were real little, you just, that's the guy. Every Saturday night we're going to watch a monster movie, and Chili Billy's the guy. Diana says, speaking of Svengoolie, he's playing Dracula tonight. I saw that. I did see that. I saw that he posted that. The woman in the opening scene is Carla Lemieux. Yes, yes. David and I met her. She was the first person to have a speaking part in a horror movie. That's right. That's right. And you know, she of course is the she was the niece of who was the Lemieux who started all this? Carl? Was it Carl? Um, but she was the girl in the coach in the stagecoach at the beginning, and she's reading out of the book, and she actually memorized the part because she said, "Oh, I could have read it." They just said read it, but she actually memorized the part. At least I've heard her say that as she recounts the story, and so it is pretty cool. She was one of the ballerina dancers in Phantom of the Opera as well. She was a very good dancer, from what I understand. Joe Express says Jack Shadow is like Vincent Price light. A monumental compliment. I'll take it. I'm sure he'll be glad to hear that. Jason says Chili Billy was the one. Chili Billy. There'll never be another Chili Billy. Bonehead says, has anyone ever watched Newcastle After Dark? They're from Pennsylvania. They play some good movies too. No, I've never heard of that. Newcastle After Dark. If it's in Newcastle, which I'm sure it is by the name, they're not far from us here. Terrence says on YouTube, I've watched The Mummy and the Monkey, Dead and Buried Treasures with Captain Kaliko Drake, Eric Sprouse, and of course Chiller Night Theater. Yes, yes, Captain Kaliko Drake. We had Eric has been on the show before, talking about his program. And a couple of years ago, it was actually in 2019, which was a couple of years ago, so I guess I'm right. Eric had invited Jack Shadow to do a part in his. He was playing he had a Halloween special that year. So it's funny because Eric got in touch with me, and I was actually talking to him on the phone as I was working on my haunted house that year. And I said, boy, I'd love to do that. It sounds fun because he had a collaboration between, you know, himself, of course, and there were some other horror hosts. And I said, yeah, you know, send me what you're looking for. And so I was able to put that together and be part of his Halloween special for that year. So that's cool. I know he's Pittsburgh based. Diana said the horror host I grew up with was Chili Billy. And yes, I felt he was the only one. Right, right. Glam says, just found Sally the zombie cheerleader on YouTube. Haven't seen much from her yet, but like her style. Almost reminds me of uh, comedian Judy Tenuta. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm not familiar with Judy Tenuta. Bonehead says, does anyone remember the first horror host, Vampira? I do. Yeah. Back in what, 1954, I think? Um, Yeah, I don't know. People, it is it's an American tradition, and I think it's a neat one. I don't know. There's something about it. There always has been, regardless of the time of the year, whether it's in the winter, whether it's in the summer. It's just Saturday night has always been that chiller night for me, growing up, and I've just always loved that. So. Um, which is why I'm doing what I do. So let's see. Joe Expo says chiller chat this Tuesday. Anything on Halloween? Okay, I am. I as soon as I know anything about Halloween, I threw a question out to somebody about that. So I didn't get a response before the show tonight, but there will be a chiller chat Tuesday night. And if I get a response before Tuesday, I'll be sure to bring that up at that time. So, and that'll be the first announcement of that type. So, I'm looking into it. So we'll see. Dana says Vampira, she was amusing and a whole lot more. Right, right. Did you guys ever see the movie Ed Wood? I'm sure a lot of you have. It was a very entertaining movie. Johnny Depp, of course, was in there, and Martin Landau was Bela Lugosi. He did a fantastic job. But they also, of course, had who was it? Was it Priscilla Presley? Am I getting that right? Played Vampira. I know somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I thought that was just a really fun, entertaining movie. I'm sure some of the events were were embellished for the sake of a movie. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but it definitely entertaining. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend you check that out. The movie is called Ed Wood, so it's pretty cool. That made me think of that when you guys were mentioning Vampira. Um, Terrence says Vampira. Yes, wasn't she in Plan 9 from Outer Space? Also, Zachary is an old horror host as well. Yeah, yeah, Zachary. Yeah, very old. One of the more notable or popular ones. That's for sure. Bonehead says I'm gonna try to watch her Glam Fangs and see what her show's like. I've never heard of her until you mentioned her. Glam says yes, Vampira. Mila Nurmi was amazing. Was that her name? Was that her actual name? I don't remember her name. I would imagine that's who you're referring to. I've seen interviews with her, even well into her old life. I've seen interviews with her. So it's an interesting idea, to take those old shock theater, packets, I guess, and all the the stations were playing these, and they all had their own little horror host, and I didn't understand that when I first, I just figured, like I said, oh, this is the guy that shows us our monster movies every Saturday night. I didn't know. I mean, I thought it was kind of a cross the country thing. I didn't know. When you're a kid, you don't understand, TV stations and the way they're set up, and that was before anything. I think was sent. I don't know. I didn't understand any of that stuff. Um, but it says yes, Terrence Vampira was in Plan 9. Terrence said Ed Wood is a great film. I got 5 stars there. Diana says, love the Ed Wood movie. Tom Paisley says, hi. Oh, hey, Tom. Have family in town this weekend, so just stopped by to wish you all the best night terrors. All right, thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in, and hope you have a good time there with your family. Raymond says, Brian, hey, Raymond, good to see you back. Hope you're having a good night. Thanks for joining us. Bonehead says, hey, hello, Tom. And Raymond says, glam. John says, and speaking of the Ed Wood movie, Martin Landau was Bela, and wrestling legend George the Animal Steel was Tor Johnson. I know that was if any of you have never seen Ed Wood, you just gotta go watch it. I was gonna say watch it tonight, but watch Chiller Night Theater, at least the 9 o'clock movie. If you've not seen it. Bonehead says, hey, Raymond. Raymond says, Bonehead. Terrence says, The Simpsons parodied Elvira with the character named Booberilla. I remember that. Yes, yes. That was funny. Glam says, Tom, say hi to your kinfolk. I know. That was, I know. I love the Simpsons, the Treehouse of Horror. Just... I don't know. You know, I'm of the age that I am, and I still love watching that stuff. I still love watching the Universal monster movies. You know, I just love it. Hammer horror. Those in particular, I really love. I don't know. I've got a special place in my heart, I think, for the Hammer horror movies. Glam says yes. Mila Nurmi was Vampira and was iconic in Plan 9. Hope I'm saying that right. Diana says, Chiller Night Theater is the best show. Oh! Thank you! I really had, I appreciate that, thanks. I really had such big, grand ideas for the show. When it first started, it was called Sleepy Hollow Theater. I've told you guys this before, but when it first started, it was kind of a mix between Chiller Theater and Saturday Night Live in a way that I actually had for the first as many episodes as I could, that first season anyways. We had bands. We actually had, like, a segment of the show in between the movies where we had Jack Shadow on there. We had another a co-host named Professor Graves, who gave a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff for the movies. It was a segment called Digging Deeper with Professor Graves, and it was pretty cool. And we had Chiller Chat, which was a segment. It was not its own show at that time. And then we would have a band in there. So pretty neat. And then so I appreciate it because there's a lot of work goes into them. Now I'm spread out a little thin, and it's just myself. But Ava joins in when she can. Samantha. It's been a while with Samantha. I don't know what's. I haven't talked to Samantha in quite a while. So she's supposed to have done a couple episodes, and I know she's had them written, but I don't know. When will we... No, I'll tell you what it was. We were getting ready to do that, and the whole COVID thing hit. So, and then we just never got back onto a regular schedule. That's why, after doing the Friday Night Frights, I just kind of kept the virtual set for now until we get back to the studio. I mean, I could go at any time, but it's so convenient now to use the virtual set, I gotta admit. So, Bonehead says, Brian, can I please ask what the movies for tonight are? Sorry, I missed the beginning of the show. No, that's fine. Actually, it's perfect timing because I normally try to do that at beginning, 8:30, and then as we're wrapping up. So, the schedule for tonight is 9 o'clock. The movie is The Crawling Eye. Now, that was, I was just talking about Jack Shadow Friday Night Frights. That was one of the Jack Shadow Friday Night Frights we had. The Crawling Eye. Or you may know it as The Trollenberg Terror was another title name for it. 11 p.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is George Garanci. George was, does the Ghoul World Order internet show. So he's on there talking about that. That was the one we did. We had a live show several months ago, and we're replaying it tonight. 11:30, Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Snow Beast. Now, let me tell you that. About this one, Snow Beast was the feature movie from last week. However, it started late. It started like 20 minutes late. So there was nothing I could do about that. I contacted the TV station, and I'm sitting here just telling everybody, you know, hey, watch the new episode tonight. And it was 20 minutes late. So I apologize for that. I hope you got a chance to check it out. And if you didn't, well, if you can stay up till 11:30, we can at least show it to you then. 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is Donald F. Glut. Donald is just, he was a fun guest to have. He's done all kinds of writing for TV, comic books, novels, independent movies. Just a really fun guest to have on the show. I hope you get a chance to check that out if you haven't seen it. 2 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Carnival of Souls. There you have it. Donald F. Glut was also, this is how I got to be familiar with the name growing up, as he was the author of, did the novelization of The Empire Strikes Back. I thought, well, that's, you know, it's a, I don't know, the name stood out to me, you know, because I read that book so many times as a kid. But then I started seeing this name popping up on my Saturday morning cartoons and all kinds of stuff, you know. I'm there like, wow, okay, so this guy does quite a bit, and he has done quite a bit, and hope you get a chance to check that episode out. I was thrilled to have him on as a guest for Chiller Chat. Maybe I can have him on again sometime. Let's see. Glam says, howdy Raymond. Terrence says, my favorite Treehouse of Terror is the Bart Raven episode Nevermore. The Bart Raven episode Nevermore. I love those. Raymond says, Glam. But it says, thanks, Brian. You got a good lineup again tonight. Hey, no problem. Guess I don't need sleep, LOL. No, you don't need sleep. You need to watch Chiller Night Theater. Raymond says, The Crawling Eye was the first horror movie I saw in the theater. Is that right? Wow. That's cool. That's neat that you can remember that. I'll tell you the first, not the first horror movie, but the first, like when I was a early teen or preteen. I really don't remember my age at that time. I just remember this was such a big deal, going into a rated R movie, and one of my older cousins, you know, took me in, and the first rated R movie I saw at the Drake Theater in Oil City was Friday the 13th, Part 2. So that I remember. I don't remember the first horror movie I saw at the theater, but I do remember that. That did stand out. It was just fun times back in the 80s. Raymond said, oh, I read that. Brian says, I'm late. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining us. Better late than never. So, I have, yeah, I'll be doing I'll do a Chiller Chat this coming Tuesday. And if I have any information on what I'll be doing this, you know, I'll do a Chiller Night Theater Halloween special regardless, whether that be a live episode or, you know, a pre-recorded episode. You know, we'll have one. We'll have one that night. So we'll have a Halloween episode for Saturday, October 30th. So now the question is whether I am able to do it live from the studio, or if it's will be a pre-taped one. And if it is, maybe I can see if we can even do it from the studio again, just to give it that old original feel. So it would be cool if I was able to do it live, though. But we'll see. All right, I think I'm caught up there on the comments. Yeah, October, you know, September. Well, actually, August, September, and October have, you know, really been pretty busy months for me normally. But you all know that I've done haunted houses. I've been doing haunted house for quite a while, and this year, through the borough getting a new secretary, she didn't know we were supposed to do this, and just unfortunately, right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing, and just as an honest mistake, we were bumped off of the schedule for the facility. So that was a crushing blow to my spirits this year. But like I said, that's just it's a minor thing. I mean, it's something I look forward to all year long. But in the grand scheme of worldwide, just everyday life, you know, perspective. Yeah, it's an inconvenience for me, but that's about it as far as it goes. I would love to be doing one. It's driving me crazy not doing one this year. Especially on the Friday and Saturday nights. You know, when it comes up on the weekends, and we're getting closer to October, it's just, mm. So maybe I can put that focus now back into the programming. So that's why I wanted to get Chiller Chat started back up on Tuesday nights, even if I don't have a guest. I at least want to get those. But now that I know I'm not doing the haunt, I can start getting my guests lined back up again. So we'll keep you entertained. If you keep tuning in, we'll keep having stuff. All right. So that I can tell you. Let's see. Bonnet says, when I grew up, we were too poor to go to the theater. We went to the double feature drive-in. Cool. Very cool. I remember going to those. Actually, I remember seeing a Godzilla movie. The one where he fights he teams up with the big robot guy and they fight the Mecha Godzilla. I don't what that, off the top of my head what the title is. There's so many Godzilla movies. That, and then there was another one after that, and I don't remember the second movie, but I do remember going to those double features when I was a kid. My parents used to take us. So I remember as a kid going to see Star Wars. Star Wars finally came to our drive-in. Now, I seen it first originally at the Drake Theater in Oil City. The theater, went in, sit down. And then it came to our local drive-in. And I lived probably a good 6 miles, 5 or 6 miles away from the theater. And I remember the traffic was backed up to our house that far back. I mean, that was, if you were alive and well in 1977 when that movie came out, it was such, I don't know. I mean, what could compare to that? I mean, I try to think of, like the original King Kong, The Wizard of Oz, as far as like a fantasy-based movie or something to that effect. But I'm not talking about like Gone with the Wind or some, huge blockbuster like that. I just mean like the fantasy-based movies like that. I'm trying to think of what would relate to that. So I don't know. Frankenstein, Dracula, I suppose. But as far as the effects, the groundbreaking effects that nobody had seen before, like 1933 King Kong, with the stop motion animation, was a huge deal. That was something nobody had ever seen. The Wizard of Oz, those. The effects, and the people were seeing stuff that they had never seen before. So the same with Star Wars. Such an experience. And then Doc says, "What will you be doing instead? Anything creative?" Not as far as an attraction of any type this year. If I do anything, I might put it out there. If you want Jack Shadow to attend your haunted event, contact me. And if they do it and with giving me enough advance, but I'm saving October 30th, setting that aside, because I will have a Halloween. I will have a Halloween special this year. I don't know what movie yet. I have an idea, but I'll put a pin in that for now. But I'm setting the 30th aside. It's on a Saturday night. and we'll see. And then, of course, I'll be doing the chiller chats too, because for the last couple of years, the only new programming I could do was every Saturday night I was doing this. So, and we kept the programming going, but I couldn't do any new live shows because I was so busy physically at another place putting up the haunted house. So, um, Bonehead says Godzilla versus Megalon. Ah, okay, that sounds it. Like familiar, yeah, that was it. David says, what would be Jack Shadow's dream movie he'd like to show? My dream movie for Jack Shadow to feature would probably be The Bride of Frankenstein. Uh, that and my second favorite, not favorite, it's one of the, for the last, I'd say about in the mid 90s, it became a tradition for me. It just became a tradition for me because at that time I was living in Pittsburgh throughout the almost the entire 90s, and and I didn't have any kids, so I didn't take kids out trick or treating, and and so I would be by myself and I'd be watching The Bride of Frankenstein. That became kind of a tradition for me. And then a little later on, after I got the VHS tape, I started. It was The Bride of Frankenstein and Curse of the Werewolf. So because of the nostalgia of it, I would say I would love. Okay, well here's the dream night for me. The dream night for Jack Shadow would be to do a double feature. We're talking about double features. The Bride of Frankenstein, followed by The Curse of the Werewolf. So, starring Oliver Reed, of course. That would be super cool. I would love to do something like that. That's a neat question. Um, and then Brian says Godzilla versus Megalon. So that was it. Raymond says, Bonehead, that is a theater where as a teen I didn't want to watch the movie. That is a theater where as a teen I didn't want to watch the movie. Oh, we were too poor to go to the theater. We went to the double feature drive-in. That's a theater. Where as a teen I didn't want to watch the... Oh! Right! I gotcha. I had to read that one 3 times before I caught on. That's funny. Terrence says, I remember the episode of Dead and Buried Treasures you were on as a guest. Sluggo and the Spectre also had a guest appearance on that episode. That's right. Doc says, Jack should be in a parade. Jack has been in some parades, I'll tell you what. I was in one in Harrisville, and that was a 4th of July parade. That was the first year I was bringing the haunted house to Harrisville. So Jack it was such an incredibly hot day. None of these are cool days that Jack is in these parades. So, and then Jack was invited to be at the community park afterwards to kind of mingle and promote the haunted house with the posters and stuff. So in that parade, I've been in a couple of the Oil City Oil Fest parades. It's a very long walk. We've had For Your Car Connection in Cranberry, Pennsylvania, donated a hearse, and we souped it up. And I got some pictures. I wonder if I can pull those up. Probably not right now. I will bring those up. I'll put those on next week. I believe it or not, it's funny you would say that because I was actually looking at that picture earlier today. That exact parade that I'm referring to. I was also in a parade in Titusville, Pennsylvania, again to promote the haunted houses. So. Adam says, in light of the successful inspiration for mission, if SpaceX asked you to go to space for 3 days, would you? And if so, what would you do up there? I'd have to decline that one. As neat as that would be, and as groundbreaking and historical and just more than monumental, uh, I would have to say no. And the reason being, not because I wouldn't be honored and think it was such a great thing to do, it would just be that uh, I don't like to fly. And if I don't like to fly, I definitely wouldn't like to be thrust out into space. So, for that reason alone, I would have to decline that one. Um, yeah, but that would be, if they asked me, oh, I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. I haven't been on an airplane. I used to fly a lot. I was in the Air Force. Hey, happy birthday, Air Force. Uh, today, back in 1947. Been on many. I probably, I don't know, 100 flights maybe. I don't know. I flew a lot. And then I developed what do you call them? My mind just went blank. Phobia. I don't know what they call that, but I can't get on an airplane now. And that happened back in. It actually, unfortunately, happened while I was in the Air Force. Of all times, they tell you you're getting on a plane. You're getting on a plane. Uh, but I haven't been on a flight since last flight I went to was I think I went to did I go to Washington? Andrews, back in 91 or 92. That tells you how long it's been. If somebody invited me to go to California for something, for some event, I don't know how I'd get there. I'd drive maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I can get on a plane. It's that bad. I mean, it's really bad. Um, so the thought of me being propelled into space just would terrify me. Joe Expo says, Curse of the Werewolf has the very best beginning story. Yeah, what an interesting story that is, because it's more from a I guess, do I want to say a lore, like a folklore, a type of, I don't know if this is based on an actual folklore, but they're saying it's said that a baby born on Christmas Day is cursed, or just that whole thing. Was there really ever such a curse like that? And I don't know. There was a lot of interesting storytelling in that. How he became the werewolf. So I think it's pretty cool. Raymond says you were quick, Brian. Yeah, after reading it 3 times. Sometimes, because as I'm reading the comments, I've got a couple already in my head, and then I gotta jump back up to see, wow, what are we referencing? But thanks. um, Diana says, oh, Raymond says the driving, right? Um, Diana says, Curse of the Werewolf, such a good movie. I love that movie. Raymond gives it a thumbs up. Ada says, first horror host in space. Right. Bonin says, this is what I like about this group. You just come up with really great ideas for movies to watch. Yeah. I tell you what, I enjoy it. In fact, I'm looking at the time right now. We got like 10 minutes left, 11 minutes left. I'm always amazed at how quick this goes. That's why if I do a chiller chat, if I do expand the time, I will still keep the programming that goes on Stream TV a 30-minute show. I won't make, because I don't like the idea of, okay, you're watching a horror movie with a horror host, you're on a certain themed type of programming in your head, and then it goes to something else, to a talk show. Although I love Chiller Chat, I love that idea, and I would love to really make that into something a lot bigger, and I will. Uh, I just I'm cautious about taking away from like the main programming of that night. So I don't know. We'll see. But throw me ideas if you guys if you want to see that type of thing. I have been really tossing that around in my head between the years about making it into more of a podcast feeling show. I actually maybe a little bit more like this show in a way, but having a guest. But we're doing it during Chiller Chat. So I don't know. I could see that working too. But keeping the actual program that's featured on Stream TV as its 30-minute program. I don't want to go any longer and get people to trail off in interest. Let's see. David says it would. I thought my watch was recording. It would definitely have to be Jack Shadow as himself in space. He'd be screaming the whole time. I don't know. I don't know. It'd have to be on some good stuff, I'll tell you. We'll leave it at that. And I don't know how witty he would be at that point. Probably just giggling a lot. Brad says, it's a Chiller Night pre-show. Brian Hogue. Hey, Brad! Starring Brian Hogue. And now here's Brian. Sorry I'm late, Brian. What's on tonight, Brian? Well, I'll let's see. It's close enough to the... Well, I'll tell you what. The 9 o'clock movie is The Crawling Eye. The Crawling Eye. I'll go over the schedule in full here as we're wrapping up. But yeah, The Crawling Eye. Remember that one? That was the also known as the Trollenberg Terror. Forrest Tucker. And that was one that we did as the one of the Friday Night Frights. And those were a lot of fun. And sometimes I think about bringing those back because I did like those. In fact, that was probably the most fun I've had doing the show is the interaction Jack Shadow had with the guests. That was a lot of fun for me to do that, and I would like to in some way, in some form, bring that back. I don't know how just yet, but that would be neat to do that again. I miss those. Dan says, Crawling Eye, based on a British miniseries. Yeah, yep, the Trollenberg Terror. Right. It was based on that miniseries, and then of course they did the movie also, the Trollenberg Terror. So yeah, that's cool. Yep. I think I'm all caught up on the chats there, but yeah, this is such a neat. Bonehead says, wasn't The Crawling Eye that movie that YouTube gave you such a hard time about, Brian? It was one of them. Just one. One out of many. I don't know. Or maybe I could do it and then take it off of YouTube. You know, do the live show and then just take the thing off, afterwards. Because either that night, that week, or 3 years from now, I'm going to, it's inevitable, I tell you, I'm going to get a notice, and it's going to really just annoy the heck out of me. At first, it was like, okay, all right, I'll challenge it here and there. But now it's kind of like it's kind of neat in a way because I've been putting, of course, this year I've been putting the new episodes only available to watch on Stream TV. I thought I would make it kind of a novelty. You have to tune in on this day and this night and this channel to watch the programming. I don't know. Time will tell if that was a good idea or not. I don't know, folks. I'm making this up as I go, and with your help, we'll just keep doing that. I don't know. Maybe we'll go back to live shows. I don't know. I love live programming, and there was something kind of cool about the Jack interacting. I had a lot of fun with that. I think you guys did too. At least it showed as we were doing the programming. Brad says, dang, YouTube is super seriously strict anymore. Yeah, they sure are about more than just horror movies. Raymond says, Forrest Tucker went to my high school, Washington Lee, now Washington Liberty. Is that right? That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Dan says Forrest Tucker starred in a lot of weird British horror before F Troop. Yeah, what was the one? What was the one he did with Peter Cushing with the Himalayan, the Yeti? Speaking of, well, look, that's the second movie tonight. Is the Snow Beast? I'll throw that back up here. But um, he did one with Peter Cushing, the Yeti of the Himalayan or something. I don't know. One of you guys maybe could look that up. But yeah, he did. Been a lot of. One of the things I really liked was, and it's not a horror movie, was the Sands of Iwo Jima. I did like that movie. Of course, you know, being with John Wayne, and that was a good one. I thought he played a good part in that. Bonehead says, I just want to thank everyone for a great weekly get together. I really enjoy this. Thank you, Brian, for making all this possible. Thank you. Hey, you know, thank you guys, because if you didn't tune in and interact and join in and make this a thing where we're all just chiller chatting away throughout the hour, it would get pretty boring listening to me ramble on. It really would. I would get bored with that. So thank you. You guys make it interesting for me. So, but thank you for that. Dan says the cosmic monster with the giant insects. The old the old B movie, giant insects and giant roaches and giant spiders and giant rats and all that stuff. It's funny, everything was radioactive and giant back in the 50s. Raymond says, I agree, Bonehead. Thank you. Bonehead says, that's the movie that made me want to be a Marine. The Sands of Iwo Jima. Yeah, that's a great movie. I love that movie. I have that. I've had that for quite a while. The old VHS. So that's actually you know, I love westerns, but that, as far, you know, one of the war, that's my favorite John Wayne war movie, and then probably second, of course, would be the Green Berets. But Brian says, The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas. There you go. That was the movie then. Forrest Tucker and the late, great Peter Cushing. So Brad says, 5 minutes until Chiller Night Theater. Get your computers ready. I miss Stream TV on Roku. You and me both. You and me both. Bonehead says, John Wayne is my favorite movie star. Yeah, you know, and a lot of, you know, it's funny because people, okay, it's 8:58, so I guess I don't have too much time to go on this. Maybe I'll talk about it on another, maybe a chiller chat. I don't know. But sometimes that image, that symbol is a big deal. You know, there are a lot of military people who love John Wayne, whether he was in the military or not, which he wasn't. But I mean, but you know, you looked up to a certain image. You know, there was an image, and that is important. I can tell you that. And well, Bonehead too. Bonehead says, "Hey, Lasercorn." Laser says, "By the way, I see your John Wayne, and I raise you Michael Ironside." Michael Ironside. Yeah. I haven't seen him in much lately. Is he still alive? I think he's still alive, but I just haven't seen him in anything lately. Bonehead says, hope it gets better for you, Laser. All right, Laser says, thanks, Bonehead. All right, folks, it is 8:59. I'm going to put that schedule up one last time real quick. Look how fast I do this. 9 p.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is The Crawling Eye. 11 p.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is George Garanci. 11:30 Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Snow Beast. If you missed that last week, please tune in and watch that. That's a good one. 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is Donald F. Glute. And 2 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Carnival of Souls. So there you have it, folks. Chiller Night programming coming up any minute now. Any minute. Lasercorn says, see you next week, peeps. Much love. Lasercorn says, we're all in this mess together. That we are. That we are. Lasercorn says, Michael Ironside rules. Well, it was kind of random, but okay, sure. I liked him on V when he was on V. All right, folks. Later, Gators. Raymond says, all right, have a good night. Have a good chiller night. I will see those of you who wish to join me Tuesday night for Chiller Chat. I'll see you then. Otherwise, I will see you next week. See ya.